to the live. Welcome. Take my hair down. Welcome. Just checking in to see how you are doing in the beginning of this new cycle. Where are you at in this cycle? Is you either expanding, elevating, or enlighten? Those are the three phases that I have organized. Where are you? And I'll wait for some people to come into the room. This is a live for connection, to talk. And if nobody is available, that's fine too. But the thing that I've learned is it don't matter if anybody else show up. Did you show up? That's the question. And that's the question I ask myself. Don't worry about what everybody else doing. What are you doing? Did you show up for yourself? Did you show up for your purpose? Did you show up for your service? Because your life is your purpose. Are you showing? Everybody's searching and looking like, what's my purpose? What my purpose? What am I here to do? Go look in the mirror. That's your purpose right there. Go look in the mirror and tell me what you see. That is your purpose right there. Yourself. Knowing thyself, loving thyself, being aware of thyself is the purpose of life. Okay? And the more that you can connect more to yourself, the more you get in tune to your purpose, because your purpose is you, experiencing you. And I had made a post today and I was like, you meet nobody but yourself. So if you meet nobody but yourself, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter who you meet, you are always going to show up in that. And who is that? Who is that you? And that is the purpose of life, discovering you. And there's so many different journeys of unfolding in that. So you can take the time and to be so self-focused and only care about yourself and focus on yourself and doing for yourself. That's one part of the journey. And then there's another part of the journey where you do not focus on yourself. You focus on being of service to others. You focus on guiding others and putting yourself in situations where it's not self-centered. It's you helping others. And the more that you can help others and be less self-centered, you will discover yourself within that, within your service to others. So there's so many different ways of being in your purpose, knowing thyself. It's not just one way, but you do want to identify where you are at in the journey of self, because there are times in the journey of self where you want to isolate. You don't want to be around nobody. You're going to go into hibernation. That's one part, but it doesn't stop there. And then there will be a part in time where you're going to want to be around others, be a part of community, be in connection with others. So there's different levels. I wouldn't say levels. There's just like when you go on a road trip, there are different roads, different signs that in different cities and states that you go through to get to the destination. And that's how the discovery and the awareness of self and remembering your purpose is. Being on the remembrance path of self is the same way. There's going to be different roads, that's going to take you to you. Welcome Afro Queen. Welcome Cool Sweet. Welcome to the live. How are you doing at the beginning of this new cycle? the calendar cycle, I should say. You gotta be clear, because not everybody and their mama know that January ain't the new year, but it's still a reset, the calendar reset, and that's something that we go off of as a collective. So regardless if it's the truth or not, this is something that we're all in accordance with. So just checking in how everyone is. How are you? And I was thinking about you because I watched the video about You Know Who, and I was listening to some of the things. If it's windy, I'm outside. Some of the things that this person has said, and I was like, okay, all right. That's cool that you know, but just because you might know something, it don't mean that you're gonna apply it if you know who I'm talking about. Welcome, Jessie Lovely. How are you? How are you today? Today's title is, what cycle are you in right now in your journey? Are you in the expanding cycle, the elevating cycle, or the enlightened cycle? The expanded cycle is the part of you that's becoming, that is in the makes. And you know when you are in the expanded cycle because you're going through a lot of transition. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of emotion, because that's the expansion. That's what expanding is. So you want to know, so you don't want to like judge it and think there's something wrong when you're dealing with a lot of things, whether it's good or bad, is happening. That's because your life is calling you to expand. And once you are able to get through the expansion, and expansion happens in all different times of your life. You know, there's never not you're going to do this experience and you're never going to experience that again. No, when you receive your next level, you're going to start right back. And then it's all fluctuating. So there's really not a beginning A, B, C to life in its cycles. But you can kind of determine where you are, you know, based on my framework. And then the next part of the cycle is elevate. Are you in the elevated part of your cycle, which is to lift and raise? You're raising your vibration. You are no longer succumbing to negativity. You are no longer succumbing to the challenges. You are wanting to elevate and raise. Now you want to focus on the positive. Now you want to move forward. And now you want to, whatever you became in the expansion, now you want to eliminate that. You want to raise that in your character, in your life, with other people. You're no longer like in the expanded, because now you understand that that's part of the expansion. You know, it's a part of the cycle, that you had to go through these different things to get to the elevation. And then once you get to the elevation where you are raising your vibration, you are raising your frequency, you are raising above the challenges, you are raising above the darkness, you are raising above your ego, now you can go into the next cycle of enlightenment. And that's when you are more in tune to your soul. And your ego doesn't go anywhere, because now when you're in the enlightened stage, you are aware of the ego. And you can utilize the ego a little bit more than you could have before. And the enlightenment phase is to give knowledge, to give understanding. Because when you are enlightened, you're more knowledgeable, you're more understanding. But now that's for you to give. The enlightenment stage, you should always remember this. The enlightenment stage is when you have something to give. And that's why these people that call themselves gurus and master teachers or whatever, they have identified themselves in the enlightenment stage, and that's why they become who they are. They want to be guides and support to others. That's because they went through the expansion, and then they went through the elevation, and now the enlightenment says now you have something to give to your reflection, to the next person. And so we all go through those different stages in life. And so I just ask you to check in where you are. And there's not a time frame There's not a right or wrong with anywhere in these 3 cycles. Okay. Okay. Well, I just wanted to come on because, like I said, as long as you show up to your life, that's all that matters. Don't worry about whether or not anybody else show up. Focus on whether or not you show up. Focus on what you can do. Not what everybody else is doing, what they're not doing. Mm-hmm. Yes, so true, sis. It's definitely a new level. Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny? We've already done this before. What they say, nothing new under the sun. Yeah. Yeah, it's like life is circular. Life is like this. It's always like this. It's not that, it's this. And when you can get into the frequency, the movement of the circle of life, you then kind of know, okay, all right, I'm going to this part of the circle now, the cycle now. And then you know what to do. It takes time. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. You know? But this is what life's about. And one thing I remember when I did Bufo, one thing I remember is when I went into that space, when I was with Source, it was like this. It was a vortex. It was just like, and I didn't know how to go. I didn't know. I literally was like, oh my God, what is this? But now, here where I sit, and when the visions come back, when the experience comes back in my mind, it's just like, whoa. It was so intense. And it was so intense of laughter. One thing I can remember, and it hits me every once in a while, when my soul separated from my body, it was like, our spirit, I'll say spirit because it doesn't identify ego or soul, just spirit. When the spirit left and went to, I just remember an intense form of laughter, and it was like a cackling, and it was like where my soul was separating from my body. I just remembered how I was handling it. I just remember laughing so much because of the release of it. It was like only thing I could do was laugh. It was just like, and next thing I know, I think they said that I started crying, like just releasing so much emotion when it separated and went to Source. And so sometimes that sound comes back into my head, and I'm just like I remember that moment. So yeah, I don't know why I shared that, but yeah, life is to be cherished, to be joyful, to receive pleasure from it wherever you are in the cycle. Remember that joy and pleasure, and should cherish the moment of life every day. And sometimes you're not going to remember that, and that's just a part of the journey, is to forget so that you can remember. But right now where I stand, I'm very present to the joy of life, because I got to experience what it felt like not to be here. I got to experience that, and so it was like, oh wow, you want to cherish the life that you have, whatever that is. It's your journey. And for 2026, like for me, it's just about remembering the joy of life and remembering this is a part of the journey. Like whatever I'm experiencing, it's part of the journey. Like everything, does not matter what it is, be like, this is perfect. This is a part of my journey. This is a part of me remembering, and I know I can trust, and I know that I'm going to be all right because this is the journey. This is a part of it, so just go with it. And the more that I do that, the more I let go of the resistance of whatever is in front of me. Because that's what it's about, is being aware of when you are in the resistant state. Now, if you are in the phase where you don't want to receive and you're perfectly fine, hey Lena, you are perfectly fine with where you're at. Be in the resistance. Be in the resistance. Be in the dark. Okay? And I do believe there's a point in time where everybody's like that. Do I believe that everyone will get to the point of enlightenment? I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but I do know with the realm that we are in, it is polarity. So in order for you to know joy, you have to know what pain is. So I don't know if in my lifetime I'm going to see where we're not going to have any low vibes. We're not going to need the polarity. We're just all going to be back into the oneness. And I don't know if I'm going to see that in my lifetime. I have no idea. But I just know that this year, me taking the plant medicines have really reset me and got me back on track. It's like got me back on track. Like, okay, all right. You had to rest. You had to, had to get yourself together. And now it's like I got to reset. Perfect timing, especially for this new cycle that we are about to go in, the next 9 years that we about to go in. It's like, all right, cool. I'm ready. I'm ready. And I hope you're ready too. I hope you are ready for wherever you are. I just want to tell you, things are going to get better. You think they're good now? Things are going to get better. Because the thing that I noticed, that a lot of times when people are talking about the future, it's always about trying to fear you into it. Thank you. I got my scarf on. That's my get ready scarf. They want to fear you into changing. They want to fear you into what's ahead. But I'm here to tell you that things are going to get better and better. Things are going to get great. Okay? They are. If you are in my live, if you are following my page, I'm here to tell you that things are going to get better. You haven't seen anything yet. So keep on expanding, keep on elevating, keep on enlightening yourself. Keep doing what it is that you're doing, and have trust in what you're doing, and trust that where you're at is perfect. Okay? There's nothing that you need that's outside of you. You have everything that you need right where you stand. But in order for that to be true, you have to believe that. You have to trust that. There's nothing else you need to know. Okay? You know everything that you need to know at the point of where you're at. That's why we say enjoy the journey. That's why we say be here now. Because you know when you're not here now, because you over here thinking about that. You over here thinking you got to get this. No. I'm telling you, where you stand is perfect. Whatever you're going through is right on time. And allow yourself to surrender to your circumstance. Okay? Allow yourself to. If you can do that, it's going to transform. Okay? It's going to elevate. And that's why I said in the beginning of this video, are you in the expanded, elevated, or enlightened stage? If you are in expanded stage, which is you're going through stuff, you're expanding, emotional, that's good. Allow yourself to expand and say thank you for the expansion. And then when you get through that, now you're going to elevate. Now you're going to lift and raise and say thank you for that. And once you lift and raise your vibration and your perspective and your situation, now you can enlighten. Now you're in the enlightened stage, which is to give knowledge, to give understanding, to give back. Okay? And this is how you can be even more aware of your purpose, because your purpose is you. This is why people want to know their purpose. This is the reason why people are wanting to find it, because there's always a part of you that wants to give. Well, we're here to give and we're here to receive. So that's why the focus of what's my purpose, because you might be in the part where you're not receiving and you want to know why. But then you could be where you are receiving, but now you want to be able to give. Like, I want to give. I want to be able to help and guide and make a contribution. Because that's a part of our purpose, to give and receive. That's what we're here to do. So that's how you can look at your purpose is. Your purpose is for you to get in alignment to the part of you that wants to give and a part of you that wants to receive, and being clear and having clarity on what that is. What do you want to receive? And then once you receive it, what do you want to give? It's that. That's what life is. Life is, I take in, I put out. And then when I put out, I receive. It's that's the flow of life. And when one is not in balance to that, then that's when things occur. And that's how we get cancer. Cancer in our bodies, cancer in our environment. Because there's too many cells that are not being able to do the cycle, and just more. They're taking, and then before you know it, you have cancer. So everything, every level of life, through biology, through external, it's all the same. It's all fractal. It's all showing you different layers of who we are. Okay, love you too. Okay, so I'm going to go, and I just wanted to come on and connect and see if anybody else wanted to connect. And if you're complete, I'm going to end this live, because I want to start going live more, and maybe like a few minutes, let you know what I want you to know, give you some food to munch on, and then go. Every live don't have to be hour and 2 hours long, unless that live is called for that. So I wish you well in your expansion, in your elevation, and in your enlightenment. You are so welcome, Goldie Mish. I appreciate you too.